I don't see us not signing anybody this summer for the start of the season. I just don't know if it's going to be a first team member or a squad player because of how highly they seem to rate the first team inside the club.
Could be the downfall.
Well, it hasn't. I would have said maybe there was one season where we didn't sign a midfielder and that was our downfall. I think that our downfall was not addressing our aging midfield early on enough and then letting it tire out before bringing in new blood. The same that was the year that Stefan Bajcetic started to play for us, and he was our best midfielder. That should never happen. A young player like that should never be your best midfielder.
Well, same with
Um,
Kobe Mainoo for us then.
yeah. So it's I think that's where our downfall was in those kind of decisions. But if I look at the team now, the general age of the squad, I really can't complain apart from saying I need our most like senior and important players to be adequately replaced. That would be our downfall if we don't do that. We have we have an alarmingly good set of players coming through the academy. I don't know if all of them will become full-fledged Liverpool first team players. I doubt they will. Maybe one or two. But all we need is one or two of them to make that step up. And I think Conor Bradley's already one. I think Stefan Bajcetic will be another. I think I would love to see what Jaden Dance does going forward. And if we have anybody else, like Owen Beck and the rest of them, just to see what they do.
I like the
But
look of is it Jason Kumas' son?
yeah. They're all talented, and a lot of them have the kind of like the right amount of bravado and confidence to
mm,
kind of translate that into big games. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest difference between a Liverpool and a United. We've had the academy connected heavily with the first team
mm.
to the extent we've had players going back seasons that have played in the Champions League that really shouldn't be getting Champions League games. And we've put ourselves in really good positions in like group games where we finished the kind of group earlier on. So in the last game or two, we can switch it up.
Yeah, of
So
course.
so because we've been able to do that, I have more trust in the academy players coming through, and I have more trust in the fact that I think we will at least sign a special player or two. I don't know if it will be a known player. I think it's harder to sign an unknown special talent, but
Mm.
like I think our signings will most likely be more okay. You're here in the next week or two, or Liverpool are interested in such and such, and then suddenly we've signed them.
Mm.
More than the long played out kind of one, unless it's a big player. Like say if we tried to move for Rodrigo and we were negotiating back and forth with Real Madrid, because we wouldn't want to immediately pay that asking price, we'd have to have the going back and forth, and they would release information to kind of like drive the value and estimation up of the player to their side of the media, and Liverpool would do the same thing. It's just how it works. I just don't. I'm not. I'm only worried about, like I said, replacing our top players. Not really. I'm not worried about the squad too much at all. No.
Yeah, to be fair, it'd be interesting to see what players they do replace them with. I think
Yeah.
we spoke last week about what players would be good to replace, especially someone like Salah.
Mm.
For me, I think you should be going all out for someone like a Pedro Neto, but obviously he's got his injuries.
Nah.
But I think Pedro Neto is probably the closest thing to probably Salah at this moment in time, I would say. Um, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to shoot anyway. But before I shoot, man, I just want to get your quick take, man, on this whole Enzo Fernandez saga.
I was,
Obviously the Argentinian national team. Um,
Hey.
yeah, you know what? For me, when I first see it,
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I wasn't surprised, if I'm honest. Like the fact that these racist chants and all this stuff goes on still in football, I don't think anyone should be surprised because I believe if these authorities really wanted to do something about it, stamp it out, then it would have been done time ago.
You know
So
what though?
the fact that these things are happening is
It's one thing if the
yeah,
fans are doing it, yeah,
yeah,
or a couple of fans are doing it. It's a completely different thing if the players are doing it.
yeah, it's
yeah,
mad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you
So
mean. Yeah.
So like for my take on it is I wasn't surprised in any way, shape, or form because I know what a lot of South American countries
American.
are like
Yeah.
with each other, let alone with
Mm.
African or French countries.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just like I think a lot of it is ignorance, not in terms of not knowing it's racist, but
Mm.
just saying something stupid. And like
It's
for
it,
example, it's not
you
consistently
know what
accurate.
it's you know what yeah it's true it's more of would you say it's more of an education thing that these that
No, no, I don't mean
what do
it
you mean?
that way. What where I mean it is if you looked into the heritage of the
Argentina.
French national team, yeah,
Yeah,
like Mr. Hernandez, his lineage goes to Spain,
yeah,
for
yeah.
example. They come
Hernandez, yeah.
from different countries. It happens
Mm,
all the time.
mm,
So I think that part about it is an example of how ignorance can make you stupid because you
yeah.
say something stupid. I think it's a chant that tries to take the mick out of them. So
But the problem is, it's like why France? Because it's like they just finished winning the Copa America against Colombia, but yet
yeah,
France is in their mouths. It's just weird. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
World Cup in it.
Yeah, but that World Cup was
Oh
how
yeah, but yeah, but that's just stupid, man. At least
it,
sing about the Colombia players, but they're singing about France. What's the point?
Well, that's where it came from, I think.
Yeah, no, I know, but that World Cup happened when? What? Last year? You know what I mean?
sing it then if you're gonna sing it.
Yeah, like it just doesn't make no sense. But obviously there's been 10 players from Chelsea that have unfollowed him. Obviously all the French boys have all unfollowed him. Gusto.
I just don't like how
Um,
it's just him.
what do you mean?
I'll give you an example. If I was on road, yeah,
Yeah.
and I see like five, ten, people chanting racist stuff at me,
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
I'm not gonna clap one of them.
You're clapping all
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
I'm clapping it as many I can get my hands on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Mm.
so when it comes to looking at who was on that boss, I can see a man banging the ceiling. That
I
like
know. This is
bare
the
into
problem though,
it,
Lenja. This is the problem though, yeah. You know what? I just hope Garnacho and Martinez, for their sake, wasn't involved in this.
I
Because
said
if they were, yeah, I'm telling you this now, yeah, it's game over for both of them.
bro. I was happy when I heard that McAllister weren't even on the bus, bro.
Okay.
Because in my mind, it's like, okay, people say, okay, what should be done to them? I'm like, it's hard for me to think of an adequate kind of like disciplinary action
Mm.
because they've got money. Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like me, normally I'd say, nah, just rush them in it. Just like not hurt them too much, but
Mm.
just pepping them
Let,
up a bit, make them learn their
let
lesson.
them know, innit? Yeah.
But society doesn't work in that way. So
Mm.
um I kind of think that the FAs will need to be fined or something. So they basically implement a rule where it doesn't happen. It's not going to change people's private thoughts, but it'll change seeing a player do it. That's all. That's all. That's the only difference. And
Yeah.
I think that's the most egregious thing about it because we all know that people are racist.
Mm.
yeah.
So I think it's when you see a public figure doing it.
Yeah.
So I think like it's not a typical type of racism. It's more like a nationalistic, side of it.
Ignorance. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll give you an
We,
example. You
but,
know, if a racism is like believing that one race is superior to another, yeah.
mm,
So if you call someone of a certain skin color, if you compare them to animals, you're being racist, yeah.
mm,
If you're disparaging them because of their skin color, you're being racist. If it's because of their nationality, it's a bit of a mix. It's a bit different. It's prejudiced, yeah. I know it's a slight difference, but it comes from a different place of believing certain things. Because some people believe that they're more superior because they come from X, Y, and Z country, which is Argentina's main issue in South America. So in terms of how they deal with or think of Colombians, Brazilians, other people like that within South America,
yeah, yeah.
when it comes to how they were
If you
speaking
look at
about,
them countries, they don't really have any black people. They have no black people in them countries anyway.
they do,
But
they
Brazil and
do,
Colombia.
bro. South America has enough black people in
No,
there.
no, no. I mean in Argentina.
In
Oh yeah.
Argentina, they have less, yeah, but they have them. They just killed off most of them.
And also remember that when the Nazis left World War II, they had their own little part of Argentina. There's literally a place in Argentina where
Yeah, there's a
still
few. There's a
Heavy.
few like German places in Argentina, I think in Brazil, maybe one or two other countries, but a lot of them went to South America, specifically Argentina
Mm.
after the war. But
So
I don't
wasn't
think it's. But okay, I'll give you an example. With like the Nazis and stuff like that, they weren't your like how we see racists today. We see racists like neo-Nazis. They were eugenicists. I think that's the word.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way eugenics works is in the past, for example, they used to see Cockneys as a different species.
Mm.
Did you get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they would kind of break nationalities down into certain ranks. And what would actually happen is depending on who was working with that regime at that period of time, that's who they would rate. If they didn't, then they would most likely disparage them. You could see that from how the axis of evil operated outside of Europe. So the countries that they align themselves with and the countries that they took over. So when it comes to the ideal or sentiment in Argentina, you've got remnants of that because a lot of them are European.
yeah.
And then you've also just got like a nationalistic thing. And outside of England, people are far more nationalistic than you'd think. Like I hear people talking about the European ideal or model, and I'll have one Spanish person saying, "Oh yeah, we're all European," and another Spanish person will look at him like he's a complete idiot. I think it's the
Like
idea. Go on,
English don't class themselves as European at all. We
no, not at
discuss
all.
English,
Yeah,
and that's
but then you'll always have some kind of like left wing person who would want to chase a European ideal or model. Yeah,
Mm.
so they
yeah.
see themselves as European, and that you do get that over here, but you do get a large amount of people who are more along the side of all right. Um,
Bro, for argument's sake, yeah, look at the national team. The national team are trying to base their style of play on a
yeah.
European style of play rather than just base it on what the culture of this country is.
Well, the way
Prime
the way
example.
the way South Americans put it to me is that Argentina, this is what they call themselves. That's the European country of South America.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. They are probably the whitest South American country that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
I'm trying to think who else there is though. El Salvador and them countries.
No, they have
yeah,
more like the native
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
type.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Peru,
yeah, probably that's probably right then, yeah.
Chile, them Ecuador,
They've
they're
all got
quite
blacks, yeah, all got blacks in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot
It's
of it,
Honduras, yeah.
a lot of it is ignorance. It's like, I remember, the word negrito.
mm,
I remember people would hear that word when I first heard those types of words, yeah. Or
the
like
trigger.
someone, go on.
It'll be a trigger word for us.
Yeah,
Does
when
it
I first come over, but then I'm going into the shop to buy rum and I'm seeing a bottle of rum called Negrita.
There's
I know.
even a drink called, there's even a beer called Negroni. Like, you know what I
It's
mean?
it's it's
Whenever I
like
see that, man, I'm thinking, are they trying to tell us something there, you know?
like some Colombian person is calling me Moreno, but they're not saying it, yeah, as in a disparaging way. It's just how the only thing I said to them, I says, why is it you refer to someone as negro or moreno or morena, yeah, but you don't have a word for white people?
Yeah.
So I think like the way they've kind of like grown up hearing about it is
Bro,
slightly
we could be
different.
on this subject all day, man, because there's obviously reasons for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but what's it?
at the end of the day, what should happen to the guy?
Say again?
What should happen to the guy though?
What's
I think
Enzo?
Yeah.
he should get his contract.
Let me be honest with you now, yeah. They really and truly, yeah. If they want to set an example, they should throw the book at him, yeah. But the problem that happens is this: is that I don't believe they're going to do that. They're probably just going to give him a fine, some educational thing they're probably going to do with him, and he'll probably get off of it. But as I said, there's more players that was singing the chant. We don't know who the rest of the players are, but
Yeah.
I think they all should get a punishment if I'm honest. But I've got a feeling that it's going to be dealt with internally by the clubs. I think the FA should probably get involved with it.
Well, FIFA should because
FIFA, sorry, yeah.
if FIFA are looking at the fights that happened,
Yeah,
it's Uruguay, then they should do the exact same thing with Argentina. What should happen is they should get some sort of ban
yeah,
that would affect them in not friendlies but international matches.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what should happen.
yeah. I agree. I agree. But I think Chelsea have opened disciplinary things with him at the moment. I think the main thing is it's going to fracture his relationship with the players, with certain players. But the funny thing is though, I mean, well, not only black player, but if you look at Moises Caicedo, because I think him and Caicedo have a good relationship, and
Yeah.
Caicedo hasn't unfollowed him. But I read today that all the French players have.
Yeah.
Romeo Lavia's unfollowed him, and David Datro Fofana.
But it makes sense that the French players would because it's specifically targeted
At them,
at
yeah, yeah, of
French
course.
people, not necessarily like Colombians or anyone else. Like,
No, but in a sense, if you're a black man, you want to stand up for your black brothers, isn't it? That's
not
basically
really, because go to the Dominican Republic and call them black.
what they won't care.
Nah, bro, they tell you they're not black.
Yeah,
Like outside of Europe and the Western world,
mm,
it kind of it warps. It's not exactly is how we see things.
yeah,
So, for example, a Caicedo, he may kind of see it differently because he knows him on a personal level.
yeah, yeah,
To say he's not actually being like out and out racist, it's like a, a nationalistic kind of like jibe.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I know every country has horrible chants in terms of like
Mm,
nationalism. Like we have it with Germany, for example.
mm.
Um,
To him, he probably thinks he ain't done nothing wrong in a sense. Yeah,
Now you
No,
might think he said something dumb.
yeah, but it's not really a major issue in it. But guys, I'm gonna have to shoot, But yeah, man, safe for coming on again. Um, as I say, man, we'll get more into this next time, next Thursday. And hopefully in that time, United would have made some more signings, and we'll see if Liverpool can finally get off the mark. You
Fix your
know.
roof first. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a black man, you should be demanding that the chicken is sorted out.
well,
That was racist.
No, no comment. But yeah, no, as I said, man. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this transfer window coming up. But I think this transfer window could be the best, especially for Man United for a while.
yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see, man. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming on, man. And I'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Thanks, man. Easy.
All right, a bit.